Welcome. This is Juan Jose Gutierrez, and this is SBS 101 Introduction to Anthropology. This is about lunchtime in the US, therefore, I'm having my lunch, so forgive me for doing this. I think it is appropriate. This module is about food, and we have to eat right to continue working. Let's get on it. Okay, not to be rude, let's just set aside my plate for a second and talk to you about food and the importance of food. As you can see, anthropology actually talks about almost anything that is out there. It's fair game. We can talk about music, we can talk about food, we can talk about technological production, we can talk about anything. But food is one that is interesting, fascinating. Why? Because it's it speaks to the core, to the relationship between any organism and its environment. And it means that we can continue functioning, right? So in anthropology, in cultural anthropology in specific, we're going to be looking for and studying those patterns of food production, food collection, and consumption. In advanced industrial and post-industrial societies, things get a little bit more complicated, but let's keep it to the basics. So we're going to be framing this understanding as a search and the study of subsistence patterns, food acquisition. For example, we're going to be talking about foraging, which is a way to collect food from the environment that implies a deep knowledge of what the environment has. We can talk about horticulture, which is production mostly by and for domestic units, smaller domestic units. Pastoralism, which is about husbandry and the management of cattle and animals for subsistence, and certainly agriculture, which is, if you think of the human experience in terms of evolution and historical evolution, more or less we went from foraging to horticulture to pastoralism and then to agriculture as the latest of the developments, and then to industrial production, because now we don't even know what we eat. But additionally, we are going to be looking into those patterns that we engage in as humans, as collectives, in terms of subsisting, making a living. And that's a big question for anthropology. How do we make the living, and how that making of the living is organized around cultural elements, right? Cultural elements that will tie to religion, cultural elements that will tie to labor organization, to kinship, and other elements. So this is just so that you have a sense of what is it that we're going to be talking about in this module. As with other modules, I'm going to be asking you to first take a look at the learning objectives. And again, I can hardly emphasize how important it is for you to click on that section and then take note. You take in your notebook, you take note of those learning objectives so that you can figure out what is it that we're after, what is it that we're trying to learn in this module. Then I'm going to have a lecture posted for you as I normally do. I will be presenting some very interesting materials for the discovery section that always includes the textbook, the reading of the chapter in the textbook. You will take your assessment quiz. Normally you will be able to take it up to 3 times so that you can master it and learn those ideas, those concepts. I want you to walk out of this class knowing more of what you knew before. And knowing more means that you have to sort of work with your memory skills and keep those concepts, not just the knowing of the concept, but the understanding of the concept, right? So the assessment quiz is a tool that we're using for you to expand on that knowledge base. And then, of course, we're going to be doing some collaborative learning, working in groups. We're going to be doing some problem solving that implies you recording your wonderful voice so that I can see that you're a real person behind this computer and that we're interacting in real time. and then give me your feedback. As usual, take a look at Waldo, because Waldo will be dancing somewhere there in the module, and it's always fun for me to see whether or not you can figure out where Waldo is going to be hiding. All right, have fun with this module. Enjoy it as much as I am enjoying my wonderful food today. See you later. Mmm.